Hi guys, PrinceofMacedon here. I'm going to do this 5-player free-for-all battle for Rome Total War, and it is last man standing, I believe, and I command the Seleucid Empire here. And you can see the Germans and the Greek city-states in the background there, but I'm showing you my troops first. I have, well, these are my silver shields, and I believe I have 1 unit of phalanx pikemen, then I have some archers, and I have my cataphracts, and there's my general unit right there. And the reason why I brought a lot of archers and an extra phalanx unit was because there were 2 skirmish factions, Dacia and Egypt. I was primarily concerned more about Egypt though. Dacia, I'm not really concerned about them. And this is me. This is one of the few situations where I had no opponent to fight at the beginning, so I'm marching towards Egypt. And Egypt is commanded by Galaecia-Liutenant from Wolves Clan. And he is going forth to fight the Dacian player. The Dacian player is, what is his name? Oh, JBTito. But you can see the Egyptian guy has heavy chariots, chariot archers, bowmen, and some pharaoh units here. So primarily a skirmish faction, a skirmish-style army, and he does have a heavy contingent of heavy chariots, though. And this is the Dacian army of JBTito, and this guy's pretty brave bringing the Dacians on, especially in a free-for-all. But he's got his archers up front, dueling with those chariot archers of Galaecia. And this guy also brought some chosen swords, some chosen archers. He has some spear warbands back there, and you saw his archer warbands already. In the back, he has some noble cav. There they are. Oh, and also some Falxmen too. So it's a pretty nice, nice mix, but it's not a very competitive style army, especially in a free-for-all. So these are the chariot archers of Galaecia, and he's just skirmishing with his chariot archers right now. He hasn't even brought in his foot archers yet, but now they're rushing in, and you can see in the background that JBTito is swinging his cav towards the left wing of Galaecia. So he is poised to strike, but so is the Egyptian player here. And finally, the Egyptian archers, the foot archers, are now in range of the Dacian foot archers. And now this is when JBTito launches his cav. That's kind of suicide, though, considering the huge presence of chariots. Even the chariot archers would take a heavy toll on those cav units there of Dacia. So this guy brings back his cav units. He doesn't want to lose them. So now this guy's bringing up his Falxmen and his chosen swords. And he's ready to fight, apparently. And he actually managed to rout some of those chariot units. Well, at least one of them. But those kind of units are prone to undiscipline, and their morale issues are pretty questionable. So Galaecia, who's commanding the Egyptians, he is going to rush forward with all of his heavy chariots. Look at that. He has tons of heavy chariots. I believe 6 units of them. And he's going to smack straight into them. Chariots have a morale-breaking like aura about them, coupled with the fact that he's facing Dacian elements who are prone to rout. Look at that. That's just a recipe for disaster for Dacia. So the Dacian army pretty much disintegrates. And there's the Dacian general right there fighting with the chosen swords. So I didn't think Dacia could put up that much of a fight against Egypt, especially with that setup. So yeah, so Galaecia just runs this guy over. And while this is going on, I am marching towards Egypt, because this was a 5-player free-for-all. I had no opponent to fight, so I decided to march towards Egypt. And you can see me in the background right there. I carry the Seleucid banners. And I'm going to show you the German/Greek city-state battle. And you can see the Germanic player is using his cav. Those are barbarian cav. He's using them to pick apart the Greek archers. And I would have done the same exact thing, same thing as a German player, because the Greek city-state player is not defending his archers very well. And in order for this guy to have a chance against the Greek city-states, he needs to take out those archers. And here he makes a little mistake here. He runs into those hoplites. And on the front of the German lines are the chosen archers. Pretty expensive. But those militia cav right there, they're about to get nailed. Look at that. They got nailed by the returning barbarian cav. So those armored hoplites that they ran into did not manage to defeat them. So these are the Germanic troops of SavestheDay, and commanding the Greek city-states was Tuga 20. Forgot to mention that, but I did caption it though, so in case I missed it. So this guy has berserkers, screeching women, night raiders, gothic cav, and some cav units, archers, and the Greek city-state player had Spartans, armored hoplites, militia cav, Cretan archers, and regular archers. But back to my fight. I'm lining up to battle against the Egyptians. I figured they were the biggest threat on this battlefield, and I wanted to tackle them while they were still somewhat disorganized from their initial fight against the Dacians here. So I brought up my archers to scare off his chariot archers. Oh, sorry, his heavy chariots, and also to do battle against his chariot archers if he still had them. And I'm also bringing up my pike units. And I'm leaving my cataphracts in the back. And this is the German-Greek fight again. This guy's working his guys into a war crime. And the Greek city-state player is charging into those chosen archers with his militia cav. Not a good idea, because chosen archers are actually pretty strong in melee, and they can easily hold their own against militia cav. So anyways, I take this opportunity to launch all my cataphracts into those foot archers of Egypt, because I noticed how far his chariots are away, and that's when Galaecia decides to counterstrike with his chariots, and I decided to run away. But it's a good thing my pike units aren't afraid of chariots, so my pike units rush forward to meet the threats, and my cataphracts are somewhat safe until my opponent's bowmen start targeting me, and that's when I fling my cataphracts back. And I'm gonna go after those bowmen of Egypt. So I have the Egyptian player on the ropes, so I'm going to press on my advantage here. And just as he crosses paths with my pike units, I put my guys into phalanx formation. And I somehow lost my general in this little fight here with Egypt. Luckily, some other general died. I'm not sure whose general it was. It could have been the Greek or Germans. Could have been the Egyptians too. I don't know. So there's my cataphracts, and I'm now pressing on against his archers. His chariot threat's pretty much diminished now at this point. So my cataphracts are free to roam around and stampede those foot units of Egypt. I think he might still have maybe one or two depleted chariots left. I don't know. But you can see the German players all over the Greek player back here. It's a pretty good fight. But yeah, the Greek player should have protected his archers better. Had he done that, he would have not been in this kind of predicament. And he probably should have kept his hoplites closer to each other, because now they're being surrounded and outflanked, and this is the kind of situation that phalanx-style armies are... This is the kind of situation that they should not be in. Like, they thrive on organization, on an organized defense. This is not an organized defense. You can see they are being picked apart from multiple angles here. So not a pretty situation at all. So, what's his face? What is his name? The Greek player is Tuga. And he is in a very nightmarish situation right now, surrounded by these barbarian units.
The enemy general is slain, and now his men fear.
And looks like another general has bit the dust. But yeah, you can tell that that Tuga's days are numbered here. And there's even some Germanic berserkers entering the fray. Their very presence is destroying the morale of those armored hoplites. Not that it was needed, but it helps. And the Germanic general's still alive. I saw him. He's still with the Berserkers, I believe. Yeah, there he is. And look at those screeching women holding their own against the armored hoplites long enough for the Gothic Cav and the rest of the Germanic army to pile on the ancient blitzkrieg on these armored hoplites. And they are sparkling. They must be vampires. Unfortunately, they are dead vampires. And the Germanic tribe celebrates. Kind of funny seeing these guys in the desert. I guess that they're the precursor to the Africa Corps, I suppose. All right, so there's still some more armored hoplites, but in that situation, they're pretty much doomed. And this is me mopping up the remaining Egyptian troops of Galaecia. And pretty much all he has left are these archers. So it's just a matter of chasing them down. Oh, here I make a little micro mistake. Here I accidentally highlighted the wrong pike unit to chase a different unit. So these guys turn their backs on those archers back there. Not a good idea, because look how many of my pikemen just fell from that hail of arrows. It's pretty painful seeing that in the replay. I mean, you can just count how many dead guys I lost because of my careless mistake.
The enemy show their true virtue.
So the Greek city-state army is destroyed, and I'm about to put on the finishing touches on the Egyptian army here. So we finish our battles at around the same time. And those are my cataphracts going to town. And they're sparkling too. I guess a lot of these guys read Twilight back in the day.
They are not soldiers. Only frightened
look at that guy.
From our men.
He's like, no, I don't read Twilight. Oh. So now we are both going to regroup our armies because we just both fought against different opponents. So I'm going to reassemble my army, and I'm going to do a slight time elapse. Look at all those dead bodies right there, and a lot of those are German troops. So I was pretty confident about facing this guy. And this guy's picking down some more Greek units, but they're already routing. So Greece is already dead, and so is Egypt. And of course Dacia is dead too. So all that remains are the Germanic tribes and the Seleucid army commanded by me. But yeah, in order to save time, I'm gonna cut out some footage here, because my approach here took quite a while because I wanted to rest up some of my troops. And yeah. But right now we're looking at some screeching women. They are going nuts. I guess being in the desert has fried their minds. But yeah, you can see my army way back there. You can see how far I am. I'm like way back there. And that's pretty much the Germanic army right there. They've taken a lot of casualties. And that's understandable because they fought against the Greek city-states. And here comes my army. And I think the only unit I've lost, like totally, was I think one or two cataphract units. I still have all my phalanx pikes and also all my silver shield pikes. I think I have most of my archers, if not all. But I know I lost one or two cataphract squadrons. And this is an overhead. And there's a little time elapse there. And those first set of phalanx units, those are my silver shield pikes. My phalanx pike unit was lagging in the back. And look at that! I saw that guy's general by himself. So I just took my archers and just shot him. Like, that general was by himself in his unit, so I just targeted that guy, and that was an instant assassination. Yeah, if you recall, he was fighting with the Berserkers. That's how he got so separated from the rest of the Germanic army there. So now it's time to face the Germanic tribe here. So I'm rushing out my archers, and I'm not going to make the same mistake that the Greek city-state player did. I'm not going to let him pick apart my archers. I'll keep them well protected. And I'll be sure to use my archers before I bring in my pike units. But yeah, that Germanic army is really depleted at this point. So he's going to rush up his Gothic Cav. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Gothic Cav and his Barbarian Cav. And I take my guys out of phalanx and I just rush them. And I managed to rout them with them plus my archers. So I think at about this point, my opponent here decides that this battle's pretty much over, so he's going to go out in a blaze of glory. He's going to go on a bonsai charge here. And I just keep my phalanx steady, and I receive the attack. But anyways, that is the end of this battle here. Very good game to all my opponents here. And it was a fun battle. We all enjoyed this free-for-all. And I hope you guys did too. Oh yeah, there's this Gothic Cav squadron here. And my cataphracts will take care of them.
The enemy show their true virtue.
And I'll let you see the results.
Only frightened rabbits running from our men.
And those are my troops. And yeah, good game to everybody. And I did not get the most kills, but I was the last man standing.